Hello, everyone. How are you? Fine, thank you. I wish I were a bardo. Can you tell I've been watching so much Azumanga Daioh the last few days? Hello, welcome in Sentry, welcome in Sanguinan. Thank you very much for stopping by. I feel like between the three of us, it's a lovely little trio. I hope you've been doing well. I thought we'd do something slightly different today. I wanted to do something special for Valentine's Day, but instead of doing one of those stupid, ooh, ooh, let's play a romantic game kind of people, I thought, nah, Warhammer. Nothing says true love like Warhammer. So me, lovely, of course. Thank you very much for the lurk, Sentry. I think you're getting ready to go to work. I think, aren't you? So yeah, look, I thought we would do a hand cam, which is going to be interesting. I got everything set up. Everything is attached to boom arms by elastic bands because the Amazon listing lied to me and I thought I could actually screw in my camera, but it turns out I couldn't. So this is going to be fun. I've never worked a day in my life. Yeah, sure. I wish we didn't have to work a day in our lives. But here we go. All right, let's see if this works. Huzzah! We have hand cam. Ooh, we got flesh. Yeah. So I've got everything set up. I think it'll be lots of fun. We are going to be painting. I have had these models for forever. Hand cam, very romantic. Yes, I can just tease you. Ooh, hello. But I've had these models for so long. These I don't even think you can get anymore. These are the Warhammer Age of Sigmar. These are the stags from the Sisters of the Thorn. I've got no idea where I've put the Sisters of the Thorn. Themselves, like the ones that ride our little stags here. But the stags were cute, so I've assembled them and primed them. At least a year and a half ago now, I think. I think it was about a year and a half ago. And yeah, so we're going to be painting these. And I thought we'd do them in some sort of like ooh-woo Valentine's colors. So I've got an assortment of pinks and purples and some reds. And I thought we might as well see what happens, to be honest. I've also got one of the ones that I did do previously. This was about a year ago I did this one. So if you can see him. I put polystyrene in the bottom, on the bottom of on the base because I thought, oh, it looks kind of like snow. That'll look cool. But I did this, God, it's going back to like maybe a year and 2 months ago. And I thought, you know what? I want to paint the rest of them, but instead of doing the blues and the chocolate browns, what we'll do is we will do pinks and reds instead and purples. I thought that would be cool. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I think we need a little bit of music. So I have a playlist here. Same as last time when we were playing Leave It Alone. I've just got random crap for the playlist. Sorry, it's been 2 weeks. I got my new PC. That was pretty neat. I got my new PC and it took forever to set up. I didn't realize how much crap I had. Random crap's my favorite genre. Good. Yeah, it is literally a dog's breakfast of a playlist, but I think it will be fun. Photos of my PC.
You subscribed. Why would you do that?
Sanguinan, thank you very much for resubscribing 3 months. Oh my god. Thank you. I very, very much appreciate it. Okay. Oh, let's I've got one of these because I've got very shaky hands. I've always had shaky hands. I think it just comes with my family's territory. We're all shaky people. So what I've got is one of these things, and what it does is it grips the model and I can hold this instead of trying to hold a very, very delicate model. So that's what we're going to do. Let me just see if I can. Yeah. There we go. All right. So now I can do a paint and it's fine. I really don't know where to start with this. It's been it's been a while since I've done stuff like this. I think what I will do is first up, I will paint his body, I reckon, or even just all over. I reckon Pallid Witch Flesh, which is a Citadel one. I'll go with that one, I think. Let me just pop the music on. Let me know if it's too loud. Crazy, it's been 3 months already. I know, right? Insane. Now, hopefully that's not too loud. Do that. I'm going to turn it down to 50% on my end. You guys let me know if that is too loud, if you can't hear me. Should be all right. Oh, I've got to turn the little thing on so that you know what's playing. Where am I looking? All my folders are slightly different now, so I'm trying to remember where I'm putting things, and I've got like a D drive, an E drive. I got 2 hard drives in this thing so that I had everything separated. And so D is for disco. D is for dance, so it's all my music stuff. And then E drive is everything else. That's how I'm remembering it. I'm gonna go here. Is this one? Yes, I think this is it. Yeah, this has got to be the right one. So let me double click this. Bam. Now you can see what's playing. It's up the top. Up the top left there. That's a better system than mine. What's yours? What's yours, Sentry? Okay, so not too loud. I'm assuming everything's okay. Not too loud. You can still hear it though, can't you? Because it's blasting in my ears, but I don't know what it's like for you guys. Just giving this a little bit of a shake. Okay. I don't know if I've opened this. Looks pretty new. Audio seems okay? Perfect. That's what we want. If you guys want it louder or softer, you just let me know and we'll be good to go. And you'll notice I'm a left-hander. Probably contributes to the fact that I'm so shaky, but that's how we go. So this is what is this? This is a small base brush. I don't know if me telling you guys what I'm using is even necessary, but that's kind of, I'm just kind of like, ah, cool. This is what we do. I've had this rag, guys. This was an old t-shirt from when I was maybe about 12 or 13, and I have used the same scrap of t-shirt as my, I don't know, not my palette, but my brush cleaner for years. I put everything on my local hard drive because external drive don't run my games faster. That's exactly right. That's why I bought 2 specific. Oh, hello, Violet. Hello, welcome in. Sorry, I didn't see you there. But that's why I bought, with this new PC, I've got 2 drives plus my C drive. So I've got a 1 terabyte C drive M.2. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive and then another 4 terabyte hard drive. So the 2 terabytes for the music stuff, and then the 4 terabyte is for everything else. So no, you're good. I'll lurk and we'll ready. Oh, thank you. I will still be on because I haven't even started painting yet. So this is for the first 20 minutes of stream has just been me yapping about things. But how has everyone been? What's been happening the last 2 weeks? I know it's been a fortnight since I last got a chance to yap with ya. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of the color, shove it in here. Go. I'm glad I didn't actually need to use white because unfortunately my white scar, my little pot of white scar paint, it must have dried up in the move. I reckon I didn't put the lid on properly and it dried up in the move, which meant that I was out of paint and I couldn't get into the city this week because we've got protests in Melbourne and Sydney at the moment. We've got a massive amount of protests happening. I mean, it's Melbourne. We always have protests anyway, but these are like really big ones. So my company warned us from actually going into the city. So I've been home. I've been home all week and I haven't been able to go into the city to get more white paint. So I was like, oh God, what do I do for stream? And then I realized I had this color, this sort of skin colored, it was white people skin colored paint. So we go. Trying to angle this so you guys can see, but I can also paint. I've had this idea for months and I just didn't know whether or not people would be interested in me actually executing it. So I was just like, let's do a special Valentine's Day stream. Ooh, woo. Or whatever the fuck I'm supposed to say as a VTuber. My week has been so hectic. It has been all manner of crazy work. I ended up getting some. I can't actually talk about this because I am actually under an NDA. So I signed an NDA this morning, but I've got something exciting coming up at the end of this year, and I got told about it at 8:30 last night. And by the time I'd finished discussions with the person I was in discussions with, it was like 10:30. And I was so excited and so buzzy. I did not have an opportunity to really sleep last night. Didn't stop me from having weird dreams though. I had dreams about people I haven't spoken to in like 15 years from my school. And I was just like, I've never spoken to these people since I graduated. Why am I having dreams about them? Every time I watch your stream, you're sleep deprived. I know, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just, you know, that meme and it's just like, I'm not a night owl, I'm not an early bird, I'm just a permanently exhausted pigeon. That's me. That's essentially me. There's so much happening right now, guys. I just don't sleep. Probably hasn't helped the fact that I've barely been eating the last 2 weeks because Arbalest and I are on a diet. So my body is screaming out for food and I'm not allowed to feed it. I have to say, no, you've had enough food. Oh. Ah. Damn it, I'm a pigeon too. Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? thin out this paint just a little bit because I'd prefer to do this in layers and for it to dry quicker. Glad you found time for a break. Yeah. Honestly, this kind of is my break. My streaming is my break. um uh but yeah, no, I keep having very vivid dreams. So I'm waking up exhausted even if I've had like 8 hours sleep. Last night was an exception. Because last night I was buzzing so much that the last I checked the clock it was quarter past 12. But yeah, I was just kind of I keep having very, very vivid dreams. Like really, really vivid dreams, guys. Last night it was with my schoolmates. Well, I shouldn't say schoolmates. I wasn't really friends with them, but like all of the people I went to school with, all of the girls that I went to school with, because I went to an all girls school. Um, but yeah, the night before, oh my god, it was so fucking funny. The night before, I had a dream about Mussolini. I have not even bothered with World War II history for a really long time, but for some reason, I had a dream about Mussolini a few nights ago, and I was like, "What is going, what is going on?" And I can be um, yeah. So that was a fun dream. I woke up so confused because it looked like Mussolini, but we were in the Resident Evil 8 village. You know the snowy village in Resident Evil 8? That's where we were. We were in that village. And like all of his soldiers were slowly one by one shooting themselves. It was brutal, but it also wasn't like a nightmare kind of dream. They were all shooting themselves in the head. And I was just kind of there observing and be like, "Oh yeah, cool. Cool. I'm down with that." And yeah, and he and then it's just one by one and then he shot himself in the head. And I'm like, "Cool." Bruh, yeah, I know, right? It's so weird. I've never been really into World War II history either as well. Like I was just kind of like, where did this even come from? um, has anyone had any like weird dreams like that before? You know, like you're not interested in something, but somehow you have a dream like that? I know dreams can sometimes be subliminal messages, but I've got no fucking clue what message it was sending me the other night. I don't know how many of these we're going to get through today. Probably only just the one. We'll see. Because I tend to take way more time than I probably need to with these sorts of things. I'm also trying to get the angling right so you guys can see too. Okay. Um, yeah. See, I just realized. I did not. There we go. Listening to some Kylie. Ought to get the Aussies in there represent. Such shaky hands. I'm not used to it in a while. Of course, we got to get the triple bucker in here at some point. I guess for those of you that don't know this song, this is a very very famous Vocaloid song. Also, doing this painting, only dreams that our messages were obvious to me, never subliminal. Yeah, that's fair. I believe, and you can quote me on this because I believe it's correct, that apparently if you dream of, doing the do with someone, um, it actually is supposedly because you want a closer relationship with that person or you are seeking closer relationships, which is something interesting I found out because I know we've all probably had a dream of that nature with someone that we didn't ever think about. And we're just kind of weirded out by it. And it's just like, yes. Whoop, gotta paint his butt. Gotta paint his little butt. His little stag tush. He's got his little bottom. All nice and painted now. Yeah. I wanted a closer relationship because she was beautiful. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, look, it's not always sexual in nature. Sometimes it can be just because you just want a closer relate, like be it friendship or anything. It symbolizes closeness overall. That was kind of interesting when I found that out, and I thought to myself, you know what, that explains a lot. Because the times that I would have those dreams would be with people that I felt really awkward about afterwards. But once I found that out, I was like, oh, okay. I don't think I primed these very well when I primed them back in the day, but they kind of add a little bit of additional shadow, which is good. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the last time I did one of these stags was before we moved house, before we moved to the country. So I'm glad I've never had that type of dream, otherwise would have felt odd. Yeah, I had it with one of my work colleagues once, and not the work colleague that I married. The work colleague that I had no interest in whatsoever. But yeah, apparently it happens. Okay, I need to some more paint. I should probably get myself like a little like paint spatula for this. Because this is how you wreck your paintbrushes. And I've kicked the cats out of the room today so that they don't hop up on my keyboard or where the paint is. I didn't know you used to work with your husband. Maybe oh, I don't know if I've shared it or not, but yeah, so Arbalest and I met at work. I can give you the TLDR actually if you want to know all the gossip. I was in at the time when I first started working where I currently work, which is where he used to work. I was in a relationship at the time. I was in an 11-year relationship at the time. It wasn't a very nice relationship. It was, I don't want to say abusive. It was very emotionally well, it was. It was an emotionally abusive relationship. And it was more of a by the time we got to 11 years, it was more of a relationship of convenience because that way we didn't have to look elsewhere. And yeah, so I started working where I currently work. And I met my now husband there. At the time, I was obviously still in this relationship. But my manager knew him because he was in a different department, knew him for different reasons and was like had to deal with him for work related reasons. And she says, "Oh, Stoat, come over here. because I was just sitting at my desk. It was early in the morning. It was like 7:30 in the morning. And she was like, "Oh, Stoat, come over here. Meet this guy. His name is Arbalus. Um, you're both nerds." That was how she introduced us. She was just like, "Yeah, you both. He's into nerd stuff too." And I've just gone, "Oh, what kind of nerd stuff?" And he says, "Oh yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, I am very much a Transformers and model trains and video games." And as soon as I heard video games, I was like, "Hell to the yes, we're gonna be good friends." And we were good friends. There was always that sort of nagging feeling in the back of my mind that he may have been sweet on me. Um, because this same manager and we used to occasionally go to the gym together because there was a gym near our office. So we both signed up and we both used to go regularly. Um, and yeah, and she was just like, "Oh, so what do you think of Arbalest?" And I'm like, "Well, what am I supposed to think?" She's like, "Would you ever consider dating him?" And I remember I was still in a relationship at the time. Oh, hello, Raspberry Sheep. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Raiders. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hang on, let me do a little shout out for you. Hi, Raspberry. What were you doing? What were you up to? Welcome in, welcome in. Hang on. Oh goodness, I can't find you in my
Raspberry
screen
Sheep
there.
just raided with 4 viewers.
There we go. Did that work? I don't think it did. Give me a second. Hello, Raiders. Hi. Painting minis, of course. Raspberry Sheep. Ah. Okay, that should work now. Oh, it did not. Sheep. There we go. Why is it not working? Oh, shout out. Guys, just go follow Raspberry Drop, please. None of my stuff is working. Just for context, Raspberry, because you're probably like, "Oh my god, this bitch is so unorganized." I got a
You're
new
following
PC.
this woman? Really?
Last week, which is why I didn't stream last Friday, because usually I stream once a week on a Friday.
You're following this woman?
Everything is just not.
Really?
Everything is just not working. Raspberry Sheep, third times.
You're following this woman?
The charm.
Really?
There we go. I did it. Hello, welcome in, welcome
You're
in.
following
Thank
this
you very much,
woman?
Raspberry, for
Really?
the follow. Hyperstrike, thank you very much for the follow. Mule Kitty as well, and Wayne Chile. Is that how I hope I've got that right. I'm so sorry if I haven't. Please do feel free to correct me, because I'm just not that with it. Hello, welcome in. My name is Electric Stoat. As you can probably tell, I am a Stoat V puppeteer. And today we're doing a little special Valentine's Day stream where we're painting some old Sisters of the Thorn stags I found. So we are doing a little bit of that. Yeah, usually I play a bit of I play MMOs, RPGs, and also some cozy gaming. Honestly, if people really enjoy miniature painting, I'm more than happy to do more than one stream of this. So Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Yes, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, but today is Friday the 13th. And I know there will probably be a lot of people doing a lot of Valentine's streams tomorrow, so I thought I'll stick to my usual time. So this is my usual time that I do streams. But yeah, look, welcome in. I am your friendly Stoat that got struck by lightning and now has an obsession with electronic music. If you're into Vocaloid or any of those sort of vocal synth programs and songs, I do a lot of that as well. We're Aussies too. We live in similar futures. Fuck yes. Yes, Aussies represent, eh? But yeah, so I'm doing... Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. I'm doing some old Sisters of the Thorn stags that I found when I moved. I've got a massive amount of Age of Sigmar models just kind of sitting over over that way somewhere. I've got some Sylvaneth. I've got some Nighthaunt as well, and some Sylvaneth got Gossamer Archers as well, which will be kind of fun. Multiple time travelers among us. I live in rural Australia though, so I'm stuck in bro, you and me both. I'm not super rural, but I am regional. I'm regional Vic, so but yeah, look, I will unpause my music and let's keep going. But yeah, so I'm just painting some stags. We're gonna paint them in like Valentine's colors. So I've got some reds, I've got some pinks, and I've got some purples, but we're just doing the base at the moment. I haven't touched this, honestly, painting since before we moved, and we moved in February last year, so this is a first for a while for me. So yeah, rural Oz for the win. Yes. Yes, rural Oz for the win. Do you know what? If anything, at least in Victoria, we get the comfier trains. I'm sorry, we get the comfier trains. So, for those of you that don't know V Line, which is the regional trains here in Victoria, they have got the plushest seats you will ever experience. I went back on a metro train the other day because I had to, for like an appointment. I had to go into the city and then on a metro train, and it was the fucking worst. I forgot how uncomfortable the seats were. You in New South Wales? She has a post office. Actually, we don't have a post office. Our local post office is like 3 suburbs away. I've never got to ride in a train. I would love to one day. Honestly, depending on where you go, they're not all that they're cracked up to be. It really depends. I like them because it makes me feel, I don't know, I feel like I'm actually going places, you know? Sorry to run. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, please raid and run if you have to, Raspberry. Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a good rest of the day. We still use smoke signals and errand boys where I am. Okay, we're not that bad. But I know what you mean, though. Oh. I've got all of him. I've got all of him now. He looks about done. Redo his butt, just in case. Some of the bits. It's been a minute. Been a minute. How's everyone's weeks been? I was just asking that before we got raided. Actually, no, what was I saying? I was talking about how I met my husband, didn't I? I was talking about that, and then we got interrupted. A good interruption, mind you. You're always welcome. I think I got to the point where I was at the gym with my manager. How color should we do is before I continue, let's just have a look. I reckon probably that. Yeah, so we used to go to the gym together, and she's like, "Oh, so what do you think about Arbalest?" And I was just like, "Yeah, he's cool dude. Cool dude." Oh, I should probably shake this. He's a cool dude. What like it's yeah, he's cool. We're good friends. We have been for a year and a half. And she's just like, "Oh, like would you consider dating him?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm in a relationship, so no." And then I was adamant. I'm like, "No, he's not my type. He's not my type. Don't push it," because I knew what she was doing. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I think she probably reported back to him about it. And so yeah, so that was that at the time. And then I started thinking about things. And it's always dangerous when you think. And then over time, I realized I was so adamant about it. I was like, no, he is not for me. He's not someone that I would ever consider dating. And I was kind of in denial. I was in denial, guys. The river in Egypt, I was in denial. So, yeah, and that was the push that I needed to leave my ex. Finally leave my ex, because everyone knew he was a piece of shit. Everyone knew it. But no, obviously, when you're infatuated or you think that there's nothing wrong because you're not used to anything else, like that, you think that's normal behavior. You think, oh, they're just being silly, blah blah blah, and it's just like, well, actually, no, they've got a point. Score 1 for cool dudes that aren't her type. I know, right? Because, well, in all fairness, I thought my type was scrawny nerds. You know, the ones that drink like Standard Mother. You know, the black and green, like the full sugar mother. Those kind of like gamer sweats that only ever play COD, you know. I thought that was my type. Always need that push. I got the push from my ex when she threatened to, Jesus, fuck. Jeez, that's not on my levels, but that's pretty fucked up. I know people who have gone through that, and I'm sorry you did, to be honest. It's pretty shit. But yeah, so I left. I finally left my ex, and that was early 2020. So just before the pandemic hit. And so then the pandemic hit and we were in lockdown. If I had my way, I would have just gone straight to Arbalest and said, "Hey, I like you. Can we start dating?" But I thought, I don't want him to think he's a rebound, because he's really not a rebound. We've known each other for a couple of years. I know him, and I think I love him, right? So I leave it a few months. And then I invite him. I never invited anyone over to my apartment, guys. I'm very much a stay the fuck away from me kind of person. And I invited him over and I said, "Hey, I've just got myself a Switch. Do you want to come over and like play Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and stuff?" And he was just like, "I thought you didn't want anyone to ever come over to your house." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true. But honestly, I could use the company because it's the pandemic and we just got out of a lockdown. And I thought, you know what? Screw it. Come over." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I planned to confess to him that night, like that night that I invited him over. But we didn't even get that far because I think he knew what was going on. I think he knew what was going on, and he just sort of made a statement saying, "Oh, I did something for him for work," and he's just gone, "Oh, I could kiss you," like sent me a message like, "Oh, I could kiss you for that," and then I took a risk. I was like, "Look, if this ship has sailed, it's sailed. But if it hasn't, this is my opportunity to just outright say it. Okay, yes, it's via text message, but this is the only time I've got." So I said, "What if he said I could obviously, thanks for doing that for me. That's helped so much. I could kiss you. I could kiss you for doing that." And I've just gone, "What if that's what I want?" and and I sent it, and then I started pacing the house. I think poor Gershwin, because I only had Gershwin at the time. I didn't have both cats. Oh no, did I have both cats? Yeah, I did. I had both my cats. I had Gershwin and Ravel. And they didn't know what the fuck was going on because I was pacing like nobody's business. And I get a text message back. I cannot for the life of me remember what he said back, because it was positive. It was positive. And he's just like, well, maybe I should come over and do that on, like, I think it was a Friday night or something. That he was coming over. And I said, I wouldn't stop you. uh but yeah, so that was that. And that's how we started dating, which is kind of cute. And it was funny because at the time my ex was still stalking my social media. So the last post he saw was when the two of us were 2 months into our relationship and we got matching gamer chairs. And the last image was the two chairs back to back, going, oh my God, we match, heart. And then I blocked him. That was the best. You invited him over to play Smash, get hit in the face with the sign is less a sign. I know, right? I invited him over to Smash. It was fucking on the nose, wasn't it? Oh, you two are adorable. I know. And the thing is, we were together for 2 weeks and then Victoria got another lockdown notice. We were about to enter the second lockdown. And we made the split decision. I'm like, look, I only have a single bed. Let's quickly buy a bed from IKEA and get it, because we had literally 24 hours before everything was locked down again. And I said, let's go to IKEA. Or you and your dad go to IKEA, grab a double bed. You can move in with me. Because we're about to hit another lockdown and we won't be able to see each other. Because at the time they hadn't said that partners and like romantic partners could visit each other. Dan Andrews didn't say anything about that yet. So yeah, second lockdown doing some legendary wingman work. You are not wrong. You are not wrong there. So he moved in with me. We were only 2 weeks in and he moved in with me. We survived like 3 or 4 lockdowns together and we didn't want to kill each other. The two of us, it was just like, I don't know how to describe it. It was you could tell that the relationship was going to work really, really freaking well. And to this day, we've never really had an argument. Like an actual like heated argument or anything. We have disagreements, but it's more like, oh look, I don't agree with that. What if we do this, and this instead? And then it's like a civil conversation, which is, it seems to be rare. Because like he's got a couple of friends, because he's not considerably older than me, but he's about 6 years older than me. And tail. I need to do the tail. And he's got a couple of friends who have had a wife, had a kid, divorced, and then found another wife and had another kid and then got divorced. And he's just kind of here like, I am the second wife. I will admit, guys, I am the second wife. He's had someone before. I came close to marrying my ex when I said to him, listen, buddy, it's been 9 years at the time. It's been 9 years. When are you going to propose? And he wasn't going to. So I bought my own engagement ring, gave it to him and said, are you going to fucking ask me to marry you or not? And so he did. So it was stupid. It was so not not worth it. But yeah, look, I'm the second wife, but we work so much better, because it's funny. His friends will say to him, will Stoat let you play games with us tonight? And he's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course she's going to let me play games. Why would she refuse me from playing games? It's like, oh, well, my wife did that. And it's just like, buddy, you married a bitch. I married my best friend. But yeah, so there you go. I'm pretty sure. Like, I've never told you guys the story because it just came up before. I was just like, oh yeah, when we used to work together, da 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 da. And you guys was like, oh, I didn't know that. And so I'm sorry I haven't told you before this because it's honestly it's kind of a cute story that we we fell in love and like before lockdowns, um, it was kind of cute. Well, like went oh sorry not before lockdowns, but after the first round of lockdowns, like back in 2021, I think. Um, yeah, we're obviously still working in the same place together, and because he's a bit of a loud he's a loud man. Um, I could hear him laughing from like the other side of the office floor, and it would be like I was a teenager again. I'd get a fit of giggles. I'd be like, "We're dating," like it was so funny. I'd be giggling like a teenage girl, and I couldn't tell anyone what was going on. I'm sorry, I haven't asked intrusive questions before. I mean, honestly, you are more than welcome to ask intrusive questions. It is you, so I don't mind. I have these sorts of like hashtag story times for days, to be honest. I've got so many fucking stories about my ex. All right, I reckon we let his mane dry a bit. He's looking very pink. Yeah, pink. But we definitely need to do a second coat because this is very thin. Gonna regret saying that on Twitch? Nah. Those butterflies just don't go away. They don't. If you find someone that you really love and you're compatible, those butterflies never leave you. They never leave you guys. I say that from experience. Because lots of people marry or they get into relationships for convenience, like, yeah, they'll do. That person will do. We want to go. I'm just wondering. We'll go dark red maybe for the antlers and the harness. I'm wondering, do we do a bit like what I what did I do? Yeah, let's have a look at my old one. So I did like a massive contrast between the blue and the white. And then the darker. So what we could potentially do is we could do a dark red mane, but with pink dry brushing on it. We could do, and then we could still do a chocolate brown. We could still do a chocolate brown antlers, hooves, and harness. What do you reckon? I don't know. 13 days yesterday, IRL. Known each other since 2001, still absolutely in love. Aww, Kitty, that's so gorgeous. I love hearing stories like that because you always hear about the negative parts of a relationship, right? So it's kind of nice. I'll wait to ask until you make a relevant yap to ask stuff. I got nothing now, by the way. I reckon I trust your artistic vision. Honestly, we had to try something because you guys, actually, I'm going to go grab it. This was my test one before I did this blue one here. I'll show you the test one. Hang on. Put it here, chat. This was my test one. Hang on. That was my test one. It was so bad. But yeah, I've kept him anyway, just in case, because I can always strip him and repaint him at a later stage. I like the blue. Yeah, the blue was good. I just wanted to try something cutesy for Valentine. So maybe we can do one in the Valentine's colours and see how it goes. and then we can do the rest in these colors. I've still got these colors. I think the only one I don't have is White Scar at the moment because of what I said before. I opened the goddamn pot a few days ago and I was like, ah, crap, it's all dry. And I haven't had a chance to get back into the CBD to get some more. I'm rescinding my trust. No! Oh, goodness. But yeah, I reckon. I don't know. Dread. I reckon this one's probably the better one. So this one's Horn Red, and then we've got Dragon Red, which is more of like it's a slightly darker letterbox red, whereas this has got more blue, or more of a blue base to it. If I do that, it's probably easier to see the colors. I reckon this one. And it looks like advertisements will be starting in 5 minutes. So we will obviously pause for ad breaks because I don't want you guys to miss. And it gives our little stag here a chance to dry a little bit more. Maybe if I blow on him. God, I wrote this song so long ago. I have to admit, as soon as this song came on, I got such a weird, like, jolt. All right, let's shake this up. I don't even think I can remember the lyrics that I wrote to this song. I wish I had like a little scoop I could use, but I don't. So we're just gonna live with this for the time being. Oh, and these colors here, don't worry about this. This is dry. It's just from the previous time I did stuff. Like, I might put the red in this one because I'm pretty sure these colors were the ones that I used for that blue one. So that way I can color match at least. Ha ha ha, you gotta laugh at the world. This was before I knew how to fucking write rap lyrics, guys. Is your bitch. It's so bad. Oh god, guys. Back in the old days of when I was calling myself Fern Drop and doing really weird vaporwave and chillwave stuff. Better than the rap I don't write. Fair enough. Okay. I was in a really depressed place when I wrote this song because everyone was telling me what they wanted me to do, and I was just like, no, I want to do what I want to do. Go. All right, let's just test this out. This might end up being a test one, and we'll start one of the other ones at this point. So we'll see. Yeah, that's a far better color. That is, I don't know. It looks very bright red on camera, but in real life, it actually looks a lot darker and it looks nice. Oh. He looks like I've given him a hit with a blunt instrument at the top of his head at the moment. That is definitely a better color. That's a better color. Much better color. All right. I'm down to clown with this one. Sing forever. Da, 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 I used to be obsessed with Ayumi Hamasaki when I was a kid. And what we also want to do is don't worry too much about if I go outside of the main here, because we will get this pallid witch flesh color and just clean up the edges a bit, clean up the edging. So if I go over a little bit, it doesn't matter too much. Blame my shaky hands. Would a red nose be too much clowning? Hang on. Done. Ta-da! We got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh, advertisements are going to start in 10 seconds, guys. So I will stop what I'm doing and I will see you guys in 3 minutes. All right. Bye-bye. And we are back. Let's continue on. Hopefully this hasn't dried out too much in the 3 minutes. This is certainly now that I'm doing it, it's far more difficult to paint on camera because you got to try and make sure that you angle it so people can actually see what you're doing. But yeah, when I was little, I used to be obsessed with this singer. His singer's name's Ayumi Hamasaki. I thought she was the bee's knees to the point where I was going to actually get an Ayumi Hamasaki tattoo when I was like I had it planned. I even had a deposit down. And I chickened out. And I'm glad that I chickened out because it was the stupidest tattoo idea because I wanted the exact same tattoo that she had on her shoulder. But I was obsessed. I was obsessed, man. I had a friend at school back in primary school, and her mother was Chinese, her dad was Maltese, but her Chinese mum listened to a lot of Japanese music, and she had a cassette tape. She had a cassette tape of, at the time, Ayumi Hamasaki's first, like, it was a debut album back in like 1998. And I was just like, this is so cool. What is this? And ever since then, I've been obsessed. Not anymore these days, but yeah, at the time I was just like, oh my god, this woman's amazing. The best singer in the whole world. Which she was not. But you could have become her. I know. I wanted the same heart. She had like a heart tattoo that had a crown on one part of the heart and then a wing. So it was kind of like hang on. Oh, it was a bit like and it was like a wing on one side and then a crown here, right? And then it had Ayumi Hamasaki's initial in the middle of the heart. And I wanted that, but with my initial in the heart. It was so stupid, guys. It was so stupid. Still listen to her now. Yep, we just finished listening to one of her songs. I still listen to her occasionally, but I'm more into her. I'm reluctant to say rival because they were both on the same label, I guess, but they had different images. Ayumi Hamasaki was very much the pure empress of pop, whereas Kodakumi was like the sexy queen of pop. I love listening to Kodakumi. The stuff's really good. But yeah, I still listen to her occasionally, but she's kind of, she went a bit funny. She married, then got divorced, then married, and then got divorced. And she's now had allegedly 2 children to surrogacy. But like, she's been weirdly, unusually private about everything. It's like she's just become a recluse, and I'm just kind of like, cool, good for you. Write some new music, please. I might have to clip that for my tattoo. Never getting tatted, not your thing, Sentry. I have 10 tattoos. They're all on my torso, so you guys will never be able to see. Yeah, I'm a sticker book on my torso. And the reason that they're all on my torso rather than like anywhere else is because at the time I was getting all my tattoos, I still wanted to potentially be in private practice. So I still wanted to practice law. And the problem with being a barrister and solicitor is that if you've got to go to court for a case or what have you, unfortunately, it's still very old school, which means that the judges do not like tattoos that show. So mine was a strategic move where I put them all on my torso instead, and like my upper thighs. And they're all dorky, nerdy tattoos. Like my biggest piece is actually like it's pretty much the entire side of my leg. But it's I don't know if anyone's seen back in like 2015, 2016. Oh no, it would have been maybe earlier than that. Mattel had like the doll company had a series called Ever After High. And they made like full web episodes and stuff like that. And I adore one of the characters in that. Well, I adore all the characters, to be honest. But one of them in particular, and I got a massive, massive stylized tattoo of her on the side of my thigh. Best $1,000 I've ever spent. I still want to get a Jerry Anderson Thunderbirds and Terrorhawks tattoo at some point. Because I absolutely, you probably know this, why I call myself a V puppeteer rather than calling myself a VTuber. I feel like VTuber has certain connotations. Whereas if I call myself a V puppeteer, because that's what I'm doing, by doing all of these movements and talking, I'm puppeteering a virtual puppet. So I love puppetry. So I love Jim Henson stuff. I love Jerry Anderson's in particular. So if you guys ever grew up like with the Thunderbirds, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Thunderbirds are go, you know. I was actually watching the Cham Cham yesterday after work because I just put them all on repeat. But yeah, I want a massive Jerry Anderson and Jim Henson sleeve. I will get it done eventually. As I kind of depressing. Do what you used to be able to do. Jim Henson works with the Muppets. Yes. Believe it or not. Although he is dead now. So, keeping his butt clean. There we go. Yeah, so Jim Henson was the one that created the Muppets. So he was the voice of Kermit the Frog here. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog. And him and Frank Oz were friends. And Frank Oz did Fuzzy Bear and all of the other ones. So we can weekend at Bernie's him then. Oh, no. No. That's all the red there done, as you can see. I don't know if you can... we definitely need to do probably a second coat. But that looks far better than what we did do. Oh, I've got to do the hooves. I'll do the hooves as well. Or do we... yeah, no. I'll do the hooves too. Need to get a little bit more paint out. Fozzie was always my favorite. Yeah, Fozzie Bear was great. Sorry, I just hit the mic with my paintbrush there. Fozzie, yeah. I don't know who my favorite Muppet is. I love them all. Kind of hard to pick one. Do I want to do the hooves red? Or do I want to just do the saddle red? Do I want to do the saddle? I can't remember what I said before. I like animal. Why am I not surprised? Sanguinan? I think Piggy was my least favorite. I think it's because she was such a bitch and I knew people like her in real life. Like that had that kind of selfish personality. So I don't know. If I had to pick a Muppet. I mean, I love Kermit. I have Kermit pajamas that I wear pretty much every winter now. I wear them every day in winter. I like Kermit. Never really watched. It's very much a sketch comedy show. So if you've seen things like Monty Python's Flying Circus, I don't know what else I can give as an example because I can only think of really old like Australian stuff. But if you've watched sketch shows, so sketch comedy, it's essentially half an hour of that. Gonzo is weird AF, so he may be a close second, but he likes boning chickens. Yeah, he does actually like boning. He's got a crush on Camilla the chicken. I don't like Gonzo. I don't like Gonzo at all. Reason being, it's not for any other reason aside from the fact that being of Celtic Roman descent, like the kind of Irish that I've descended from is very much the one that has Roman-like features. So I've been cursed with a Roman nose. So, you know, that sort of that hooked nose. Grab this. So I've been cursed with a nose. Let's say this is my head. My nose does this. And then there's my lips, right? So my nose is like this. At school, kids used to say, "Oh my god, look, it's Gonzo the Great." Because of course Gonzo has got a nose, a giant schnoz. So I've hated Gonzo ever since I was a kid. I mean, it's not like I'm not pretty in my own way. It's just at the time, obviously, when you are in grade 5, so you're like, what, 11, 12 years old, and kids are saying, "Oh my god, look, it's Gonzo the Great." You get really self-conscious. And it's funny because when I was a kid, I wanted a nose job so bad. I really wanted a nose job because I was so embarrassed by everything. But the thing is, jealous of how pretty Gonzo is. Got it, yeah. But you know what's funny is I actually was going to have a nose job for medical reasons last year. So because of that size of nose and that shape of nose, it's actually very narrow. It's not a wide nose, and as a result, snoring obviously occurs. And I was going to have what's called a septoplasty to kind of try and straighten it out and widen the nose cavity a bit. And I said to the guy, I said, look, this is to the plastic surgeon, I said, look, I don't want my nose to change shape. I like it the way it is. I don't want, like, I don't want this for cosmetic reasons. And he's like, oh, that's brilliant. That makes it easier for me. And then he showed me on his Photoshop what I would have looked like after the surgery. My nose was so different that it really, that coupled with the fact it was going to be $15,000, both of it was a massive turnoff, and it wasn't even going to potentially fix the problem. So I was like, no, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this at all. So I ended up abandoning it. But yeah, so I don't like Gonzo. The TLDR is I don't like Gonzo. But yeah, I love Janice and the Electric Mayhem, so the band. They're pretty cool. But yeah, it's very much a sketch comedy show. And if you've got Disney Plus, I mean, I don't know why you would have Disney Plus, but if you do have Disney Plus, Seth Rogen? Seth Rogen just did a pilot episode of a reboot of The Muppets. It was the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. Like I was just like, oh my god, this is old Muppets. We have gone back to form, guys. So I'm hoping Disney commissions more. I hate the fact that Disney own it now. But yeah, so definitely worth watching the Muppets at least once in your life. How's your breathing now? Still pretty bad, but it's not at like danger levels, if you know what I mean. So I was just kind of like, oh, it's just not worth going through surgery. And it was an open septoplasty as well, where they actually like essentially pull your nose apart and then reconstruct it. I was just like, no, thank you. No, I do not want that. I'm absolutely terrified of going like having medical procedures done. So I feel like I got that from my grandmother. My grandmother's the same. If it wasn't for the fact that I had to take my grandmother to hospital, when was it? About 6 months ago, I think. She hasn't actually been to see a doctor since my uncle was born 61 years ago. I definitely watch on a legitimate. Yes, that's how I watched it, Sentry. Damn, she beat my record. Yeah, that woman has got an absolute fear of doctor. She believes that if no one can tell her that there's something wrong, then she's healthy. So that's how she goes through life. That's how she thinks. So that's the antlers done. We've got some antlers on our boy. I know I'm not the healthiest. I deny more directly. Yeah. But nah, look, she's the only reason she had to go into hospital. This is a fucking story for the ages. The only reason she had to go into hospital was because she ended up having a fall and not telling anyone. Now, for record, my dad lives with my grandmother. So she does have him home when he comes home from work. He's there all the time. He works close, so it's a 5-minute drive to go and check on her at lunchtime, which he does. Somehow she managed to hide from him that she'd fallen over and hurt her arm. So she had it in like a sling underneath a scarf, so she hid it from him so that he wouldn't worry. She did this for 4 days. 4 whole days. She'd hurt herself on the Tuesday, and it got to Sunday, and I came over to visit. And I'm just like, I've gone, what's wrong with your arm? Because it was so easy to see something had gone wrong. And she's like, oh, it's fine. I just had a fall. And I'm like, show me. And her hand, guys, was swollen like nothing else. And it had been 4 days. It had been 4 days. So I said to her, go, because she could barely shower. So she was a bit stinky. So I told her, go have a shower, take your time with it. I will help you because I'm the only other female in this family. I said, I will help you, but go, and see how you feel after that. So while she was there, she was in the shower. I had words with my dad and also my uncle who was also there. So my dad and his brother. So it's a very, very small family on my dad's side. It's literally just, it was the 4 of us. Now it's the 5 with Arbalest. And she was in the shower and I chewed them out. I chewed them both out because they should have known that this was what was going on. And I said, right, can we all agree that if she protests, it's not going to matter, but we are taking her to hospital today. We're taking her to hospital right now when she gets out of the shower. And they're like, all right, fine, we'll do it. So she gets out of the shower. She was going to get back into her pajamas. And I'm like, no. 1, they stink. It's been days. 2, we're taking you to hospital right now. And I've never known someone to be so shit scared of going to hospital. But I assured her, I said, look, I'm going to be there. I'm there the whole time. You've got to go. And thank God we went. Because it turns out she had dislocated her pinky finger and she had hairline fractures all the way up her fingers and on her palm. And they said, you know what, if you had have come to they said to her, if you had have come to the doctor, like on day 1, it wouldn't be this bad. But yeah, so she had her finger popped back into the socket. And she was in a cast for about 6 weeks. And then she had like recovery therapy, like physio and stuff like that with her arm. Oh, I can tell you why she's scared of the hospital, because the 2 times that her parents went into the hospital, they never came out again. So she's absolutely terrified. She's so terrified that if she goes into a hospital, she'll come out in a box. That's just, she grew up in an age where she was the only child. She had a lot of shit happen to her through her life. And unfortunately, that's culminated in her being one of the most terrified women I've ever known. So she doesn't leave the house without anyone else. She stays inside. She doesn't even go to church anymore. She stays inside unless she's going to get her hair cut. And I take her to get her hair cut. She's very old, very, very old. So she's not going to change her ways or anything. So, but that's kind of why she's so scared of hospitals. Because her dad went in there, came out in a box. Her mum came in there, went in there, came out in a box. So she's just very scared. It's an unfortunate, but I get it. Yeah, exactly. But I've kind of gotten over some of the fears she instilled in me, but I still got some that I do get a little worried sometimes, and having medical procedures is one of them. I don't mind going to hospital. I've been in a hospital loads of times. But having an actual medical procedure where I've got to be put to sleep. The one time I was put to sleep was when I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, called a lumbar puncture. Oh, Mags, hi! Hello! Oh my goodness! Hello! Mags, hi! Hello, welcome in Raiders. Let me shout out. Let's see if it works properly this time.
Magsy Moon
Correct.
just raided
There
with
we go.
25
Hi.
viewers.
Welcome in, raiders. Welcome in. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Electric Stoat, your favorite Stoat who got struck by lightning and is now obsessed with electronic music. We dabble in some RPGs and some cozy games, and today for a Valentine's special, we're painting some stags in Valentine's Day colors. Thank you very much, Vlad, for checking in. Hi, everyone. Hello, Shoebox. Hi. Let me scroll up and see who else is here. Vlad, Euraxia, Jigsaw. Hi. Welcome in, Mags. What are you? What were you doing today? Anything exciting? I hope you had a good stream. Mags is a model sibling, so we both have the same artist as our model mama. Mahjong. Oh, was it Mahjong in 14 or was it like actual Mahjong? Because I know in 14 it's really, really. You're doing a community 14 playthrough. Mahjong in 14 is so competitive. It's so competitive. Eggy is so talented. Of course she is. Of course she is. We have the same model mama. We're both extremely talented. Apparently I can't paint for shit though, so we're dealing with that today. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of painting for Valentine's Day. We initially did his mane like a pastel pink, and it didn't look very good, so I painted over it with a red, and now we're just doing his saddle at the moment. So, and Mags, if you need to raid and run, that's totally fine. Yeah, look, stay along if you would like to. We're just listening to music. We're chatting about stupid shit. I'm complaining a lot because that's what I do best, isn't it, guys? But it looks so good. Thank you. It was funny when I only had a red portion just here. It looked like I'd hit him over the head with a metal bar. But yeah. So welcome in, guys. Feel free to stay. Feel free to lurk. Feel free to go. If this isn't your thing, that's what these streams are all about. Is I'm here for your entertainment, and if I ain't entertaining to you, then fuck off. No, I love you long time. I love you a long time. All right. I'm talented in yapping, yeah, that's for sure. Oh god, this song. I forgot I wrote this. I wrote this for my husband because he's obsessed with model trains. Well, I mean, I didn't write it. I future funked an existing song. Because future funk is just sampling. I have not got steady hands tonight, that's for sure. Beep, beep. Do, 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 do. I remember I did a DJ set, and I like in IRL, I did a DJ set, and this was my opener. It was so funny. I just confused everyone. It was really, really funny. Oh, I'm really going out the lines, but that's all right. We can clean it up later. Electro sampling, yes. Although, I mean, I don't really sample these days. I just write my own stuff, or I do like full covers of songs. We haven't done that on stream for a while. Like, at all, have we? I haven't done a Vocaloid cover on stream for ages. Oh wow, is this like the fucking Fern Drop hour? Another one of my songs. For those of you that don't know, I used to write under a different name. I used to write under Fern Drop. I did a lot of chillwave, vaporwave, lo-fi stuff, and then I also did some future funk because future funk is a subgenre of vaporwave. But yeah. We haven't done a Vocaloid stream in ages. We probably should, actually. I want to do a cover of Lag Train, if anyone's heard that song, Lag Train. Really, really good. I've only seen those streams from Insta, never watched it live. Yeah. I reckon one of the weeks coming up we will do a Vocaloid stream so you guys can see how I work. Obviously, it will just be the Vocaloid portion. We're not gonna. Well, maybe if we have time, we'll do it from scratch. But and like do the full composition. But we'll see. See. Never with you. A fucking 10 points and a gold sticker for anyone if they know the origins of all the sound clips in this that I used in this song. I don't think anyone will, to be honest, though. I love Lag Train. A VTuber cover introduced me to. Sweet. We're gonna do it then. All right, we're gonna do it. We'll do it maybe next week. I don't know. I have to admit, guys, I'm getting very burnt out with Guild Wars 2. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm getting very burnt out. It's why it's taken me so long to just get through the base game, to be honest, is because I'm getting bored so fast. Because I'm over it. I love it, don't get me wrong. It got me through some really bad, it was not bad, very stressful times back in 2024. It really did. But I think I just need a break from it. I do the same thing, don't feel bad. I just go back when I feel, yeah, Guild Wars 2 confuses me. Honestly, Max, it's a really fun game, and I would never warn anyone off playing it. I think everyone should try it at least once in their life. I think the thing that confuses a lot of people is the fact that the combat is different, and also the way that you do quests. The way that you do quests, is different because you're trying to fill a heart. You don't have a quest that you pick up and then you go back to that person, you know? God made millions of games so you can switch it up. Exactly. I feel like we should probably still get through the fucking base game at some point. But it's just been a bit of a slog for me because I mean I have gone through the base game like 9 times in 2 years. I'm so over it. But yeah, no, I think I'm just tired. And also there's been a couple of changes to Guild Wars in the recent 6 months maybe. Yeah. So Jigsaw, just in case, I'm assuming you because you're following mags that you know sort of how Final Fantasy 14 works. In Guild Wars, it's a little different. Every 10 levels, you get main story quest essentially. And they go for about a couple of hours each quest, like 1 to 2 hours. It depends. So it's not like you're going through A Realm Reborn 9 times. Although I have done that maybe about 4 times. I've gone through A Realm Reborn because I had alts. And also in Guild Wars 2, you don't need to do base game. You actually you can skip to whichever expansion you want to. Whereas obviously in 14, you've got to go through the story in order. No wonder you get bored of it. Yeah. The writing isn't bad, it's just old. It's not as fleshed out as something like 14. But it's funny because the actual novels, the Guild Wars 2 novels, are insanely good and they flesh out the world. Still 9 times? Yeah. Yeah, I've got 9 or 10 alts in Guild Wars 2 now. And we were leveling up Raspberry Drop. Just FYI for the people who have been watching the Guild Wars streams, I've actually leveled Raspberry Drop to 80. I haven't done the 70 and 80 quests, but I've leveled her up to 80 so that I could put the Ascended gear on her so that she was less squishy. But yeah. I used to play 14 a lot. It was actually one of the games that my husband and I used to play a lot together at one point. And that was before we got together. And he did something really funny in it once, and he took a screenshot because he had the swim cap. You know when you're like level 5 and you get that really stupid cap? He was a really tall Ellison. And he had the fucking yellow swim cap on. And he took a photo of himself in this really serious cutscene with like Minfilia and stuff. And it was one of the funniest things. I could not stop laughing. And my boyfriend at the time got so pissed off, guys. So pissed off. He was just like, oh, yes, see, you're having fun with him. And I'm just like, don't even think it. He's not my type. And as we discussed before, it turns out he was. It was very funny. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Mags. Yeah, he felt full threatened. You missed the story of how my husband and I got together because we worked together. But it was really funny. We both worked not together, but we were in different departments, but we met through like a mutual that we also worked with. But yeah, it's very funny. Very funny. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, you two should date," and I'm like, "No, he's not my type. Go away." And then it turns out, well, fuck, he is my type. I love him, and it was the push I needed to leave my emotionally abusive ex. That's the TLDR. I went into fuck tons more detail before. I'm not going to repeat myself though, unless anyone wants to hear the gossip again. But I mean. Just realized how much Red Vox I've put in this playlist. So for those of you that don't know, Red Vox is a band. We're just a band. It's a band formed by Vinny Vinesource. So if you know Vinesource, if you know Lime Malicious, so Limes, the ferret VTuber, which kind of is a distant cousin to me because I am a stoat, she's a ferret, and we're mustelids. Before she was a VTuber, she used to be part of the Vinesource crew. So, and that was started by Vinny Vinesource. This is his band, and this is him singing. He's really good, actually. I enjoy his sort of, I wouldn't call it, is it prog rock? Would you say it's prog rock? I don't know. Or alternative rock. I think it's prog rock. I actually got my uncle into him, which is really funny. I introduced him to, don't know who Limes was, just knew she's green. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. She is green. Yeah, she's a ferret VTuber. Quite a big one. Quite a big VTuber. Okay. Probably as good as we're gonna get the harness. I keep seeing spots that I very clearly missed, but the paint's not landing in the spots I want it to land in. I will clean this up afterwards though, so don't worry. Don't freak out if you see pink where he's not supposed to be. I think that should do. Spoon. Oh, for the Australians in the audience, while we let this dry, this song. So this particular song that you are listening to right here. This is Tina Arena. This song was on a So Fresh album, hits of like, I think it might have been summer. Back in like 2001, 2002, somewhere around there, because I know I had that CD, and I don't know what happened to that CD, but it had this particular remix on it. It's the Metro Mix 7-inch. I was never, ever able to find this remix for literal decades. It had been 2 decades, and I found out that it was on the CD single of Symphony of Life, Tina Arena. So I had to try and track down someone who had a copy of Symphony of Life. I had my uncle looking in like thrift, because he goes to thrift shops a lot. I had him looking in thrift shops for this goddamn single. I said, if ever you see it, please, for the love of all things, buy it, because I love this remix of this song. I haven't heard it in years. It'll be good for like when I was DJing. That's something we can do at some point too. We can do a DJ stream. But yeah, and I was just like, I can't find it. Lo and behold, someone listed it on eBay maybe about 3 months ago. So I bought the single, and I was like, oh my God, I finally get this remix back, because I don't know where the MP3 went as well, but I used to have it as I'd ripped it from the CD as an MP3. But I finally got this CD single back, because I loved this remix as a kid. It was just enough bop to it, from as opposed to the original. So, what do we do? We did Pallid Witch Flesh, didn't we? We did this one. I'll put some more. Put some more here. You touch me, I may disappear. Love in my symphony. Alrighty. Let's do a little bit of cleaning up of these edges, just slightly. Wondering, one of my other the base brush. This is the one I got for Christmas this year. So it's a small Citadel layer brush. Yeah, this is definitely the new one, because I can't get the cap off. Ugh, there we go. There we go. So you can see how small that is. We're going to use that to clean up some edging. And then we'll do some dry brushing. See where up. Just trying to dry it off a little bit. That's what she said. Just because I want it to grip the paint a bit more than watering it down. Okay. Looks a bit cleaner. Looks a bit cleaner now. Other side. The bottom. His little bottom. Oh, I don't know how many of you have found me from Instagram and stuff like that, but I had one Instagram reel and it was me playing, I think it was Whisper of the House. And there was like a little mini game where you could draw the rest of the dinosaur. And I gave him a bottom and I went, and his little bottom. Arbalest is fucking obsessed with saying that now. I've given him a new vocal stim, which is hilarious. So now occasionally he'll like pat the cats on the butt and he'll go, little bottom. And I'm like, fuck off. Arb, I can see you messaging me that. He's just messaged me, little bottom. You can talk in chat, you bastard. I can see you there. There we go. Okay. What else have we got? I just, god damn. I must be real shaky because some real mess here. He doesn't want us to know. Well, too bad. I just close it to the public anyway. There we are. Okay. That's nice and up there. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? Hang on. Mayday! Mayday! I aimed wrong. I aimed wrong. That's what he said. I've got to clean up the cleanup. Hang on. There we go. That should be enough. There we go. All right. All right. Crisis averted. Crisis averted, guys. Okay. Back to the regular scheduled cleanup. Oh, this song's a blast from the past for all you Aussies. All you Australians. Ready to be punched in the childhood. Crisis, what crisis? I accidentally hit part of the red with the pale pallid witch flesh. All right. That's all that cleaned up. I'm gonna clean up the red a little bit. Now you're supposed to act adorably oblivious and we all pretend you've never made a mistake. See, that'd be cool if I didn't make a mistake, but I did. So I'm calling it out because I'm good at doing that. I dob myself in. I'm gonna clean up I need more. I'm gonna clean up a little bit of the red because he's a bit naff. Take it out of the pot. I'm gonna be lazy. I'm telling you my future gaslighting adventures. So funny. I'm way too honest. My previous manager, at work, because I've obviously bounced around teams a few times. Go where you're needed, kind of thing. And one of my managers is like, I love the fact that you're so honest, Goat. And I'm like, girl, if I could lie, I would. I'm not good at lying. I'm terrible at fibbing. Terrible at keeping secrets as well because I'm not good at lying. So if someone asks me, I'm like, bruh, gotta tell you. Go. All right. We just got the hooves left, and then we can start. Oh, we just do the hooves, and then we can start doing dry brushing. So that's when we take a color with a dry brush. We get rid of a lot of the color, and then we brush it along. So, see how with the blue here, see how there's white dry brushed over the dark blue? That's essentially what we're going to do, but we're going to do it with a pale pink or a pale lilac. I haven't figured, probably a pink, on all of the edges. I can only lie with premeditation, can't improvise or hide info on the fly. 100%. I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. Okay. All right. So that's that done. I know we've got his inside of his ears. I'm not sure what to do with the inside of his ears, to be with you, chat. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But what we'll do is, I know we've got an ad coming up in 5, and then we'll get on to the dry brushing. Okay. I also have this fancy brush, but I haven't used it yet. I haven't needed to. I also have a second small layer brush. I think this one's my old one. But what we're going to use, we have this dry brush here. And I've also got another one. Same brand, but it's, I think this is, there we go. Sorry. This one's not a bristle brush. Like it's synthetic. It's a synthetic brush. Whereas I think this one's actual, whoops, overshot the wrong way there. So you can see the differences between the two. I don't know which one would be better. I'm probably going to use this one because this is my old one and I know it works. And because I don't want to test something new on stream and be like, ugh, it did not work. Ugh. I've never heard about dry brushing, but can't argue with how nice it looks. Yeah, honestly, it does look really good. Never heard of it before either until I started painting miniatures. So, I'm going to figure out what color. I might do that over the ad break. But essentially, we want it to be pink, but I feel like the pink that I used before, so you see this pink here, I feel like it's too saturated. I do have a very thin white. I don't have any white today, but I've got a thin white. That might be the go. I also have this insane glowy pink as well. Never test anything new with that logic, yeah. Put all the colors that I have used to one side because I feel like I'm forgetting what I've used and what I haven't. And witch flesh is what we did. So we've got skin in the pallid witch flesh. We've got the red is a corn red. Got saddle is wicked pink. And then the antlers are dryad bark. I'm thinking thought I heard thunder. I'm thinking we do potentially, I mean, this is the only, I might try mixing it with some white, but we will do a weird elixir. And then for dry brushing over the saddle, I reckon we go with a purple. So Dechala lilac, or Decala, however you're supposed to say it, lilac. So that way there'll be a little bit more of a contrast. We'll see how we go. We still need to do the iron stuff too. So. Oh my goodness, I missed a bit. I might quickly do that over the break because our ad break's going to start in 30 seconds. Actually, no, I can do this very quickly on camera. See, we missed a bit. There we are. That's better. That's all I needed to do. All right, I will see you lovely crazy kids in 3 minutes. So see you guys then. So go have a break, go have a cuppa, have a Kit Kat, all of that jazz. I'll see you soon. Okay. So we're going to start dry brushing. I haven't done this in so long. Let me just get my seat up here a little bit because I am very short. My seat doesn't want to play ball. I have got over here, which I will grab. I have some paper towel, which we will use. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the paint from here, like a shit ton of it, and then we're going to do this with the brush until pretty much all of the paint is gone, and then we're going to dry brush it on. So I think this is still just a tad too wet. I might do the hooves while we just wait for the rest to dry. So I thought we were done, but apparently not, guys. Apparently not. Okay. Where did I put it? I was just like, where did I put the brown paint? It's right in front of my freaking face. Okay. One angle, I say at a time. Oh, hey, it's that song. It's that really cool song by that cool chick called Electric Stoat. Electric Ross. Yep. I am Bobbit Ross. Bombs. Just cosmic in the galaxy's glow, spinning low, hearts beat and flow. We'll never let go. Oh. This is my favorite song I've ever written. Incoming! Blimp, is that you? I'm going to pause my song. Oh shit! Oh shit! Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Mandy. Oh my god, hello. That's a hell of another welcome.
Flint
Yes.
Van der Stag just raided with 6 viewers.
Hello everyone. Hi. Hello, welcome in, Flint. Hi, Violet. Hello. Everyone's in. Hi. Hello, we have a hand cam today. We are doing something a bit different. So, for those of you that are new, hello. My name is Electric Stoat, your favorite winter stoat who got struck by lightning and is now obsessed with electronic music. Hello. As you can tell from the accent, I am Australian. Tonight, so usually we do RPGs, cozy games, that sort of thing. We also do a bit of music production on stream, but tonight for a special Valentine's night, we are actually painting some Warhammer miniatures in Valentine's colours. Because apparently I decided that this was going to be a good idea about 2 months ago. I need a better backstory. No, so it's okay. It's okay. You don't need a backstory. Your backstory is that you married Violet and you two are like the coolest people that I know. Just FYI. Hello, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Mandy, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I caught some of your DBD stream the other day, but I didn't have time to actually go, hi, I'm here. Just
You're
remember
following
really
this
hard,
woman?
yes.
Really?
Thank you very much for the follow, Moldy Snack. Thank you very much. I hope you're all doing well. We've had a night tonight. We've actually repainted this because the head and the mane were actually pink before. We're just in the middle of finishing off the hooves. So we're doing the hooves just a plain chocolate brown, as you can sort of see there. And then we're going to do some dry brushing over the top. That looks sick. Thank you very much. I'm a little rusty. I haven't done one for a very long time. The last one I did was about 14 months ago, which was this little baby here. I made him a winter stag, as you can see from all the blue, and then I put polystyrene at the bottom because I thought it looked like snow. I thought I was going to be so clever, so ingenious, but yeah. So we're kind of emulating this, but with Valentine's colors tonight. So that's what we're doing. Oh goodness, and we're just vibing out, listening to music, talking about hashtag storytime stuff. What kinds of figurines are these? I'm going to go out on a limb and say Warhammer. Yes, it's Warhammer. This is Age of Sigmar, which is not 40k, not the one that everyone talks about like Heresy and for the Emperor and stuff. This is actually Age of Sigmar, which is a different game. But these are some old models. They do actually have characters that are supposed to be on top of them, but I don't know where I've put them. I never bothered with them. But yeah, these are supposed to be the Sisters of the Thorn Stags. So they're steeds essentially. So that's what we're doing tonight. I've got a few of them here. But I'm pretty sure we're just gonna probably get through one, to be honest with you. I ran out of white paint because I tried to open my white paint the other day, literally a few days ago, and it was dry. It was all dried up, so I don't think I closed it properly when I made this one. So we're doing him in a slightly different shade tonight. I couldn't get into the city. I just couldn't get into the city because of all the protests. How are you guys going with the protests, actually? Are you guys okay with the protests? So, just for context, at the moment, there are lots of protests going on in Australia. I don't want to get into politics on this stream, but there's a lot of protests going on right now. In Melbourne and Sydney, we got warned not to come into the city this week, by management. So we weren't coming in. There are seriously, seriously, Flint, you must have missed it. We haven't left the house, so to be honest, didn't notice. Okay, fair enough. But obviously with the both of you being a bit closer than I am, that just had me worried there for a second. But yeah, so we've got protests going on, so I haven't been into the city, so I couldn't get any more white paint. I believe we have a hobby store locally here. I did check it up online, but their hours are literally whenever they want. So I didn't want to waste an hour of my time trying to get there via bus, in order to see that they're closed, you know? We haven't left the house in a week. Oh my god, I'm jealous. I better start the music back up. Plug myself because we're listening to my music at the moment. I just came on shuffle. I was gonna go out for Hong Kong borscht. Never mind. Honestly, just leave it until certain dignitaries leave Australia. Just look up to see when they're leaving, and you'll be fine. Agoraphobia and self-employment. Yeah, working from home is a lot of fun, to be honest. Although there are lots of temptations working from home. But yeah, so just be careful, you two, because I know you're closer than me. I can't fall, but we'll never let go. Okay. There we are. Sorry, sometimes I have to bring it in close because I can't see for shit. I don't have my fucking glasses on. I'm like, why do I not? Why can't I see? Hang on, let me put my glasses on. Gotta go get Lottie dinner, but we'll lurk around. Oh yes, Flint, Violet, if you guys need to raid and run, please do so. We are very raid and run friendly around here. And I hope if I don't speak to you before I finish, have a good night and have a good weekend, guys. Are you just doing anything special? Are you just doing anything special tomorrow? Or are you a bit like us where we're just like, it's another day? Also, we need to go out for another double date at some point with the four of us. It's been too long. Chill weekend? Yeah. We're getting sushi tomorrow. So Arb and I are both on diets. So Valentine's Day is our one treat for the fortnight. So we're going to go and get sushi from literally the best sushi place we've ever eaten from. Sounds amazing? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be nice to actually eat some food. My body is screaming at me every hour of the day going, please give me a potato chip. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And then my body cries. And I cry. Which one? It's not in the CBD, Flint. It's not in the CBD. It's local to us. But I just happened to really crave sushi a few months ago. And I ordered sushi for Uber Eats because we have to get Uber Eats. There's nowhere around us. We are literally in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. So we have to get Uber Eats to get anything. And yeah, and I just took a gamble on this one because I had the you know that Uber One, and you know how they give you a month free? I was just sifting through that looking for sushi, and my eyes fell on this place, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll give it a go." And it was the best gamble I've ever had in my life. Pretty much. Proof's done now. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. All right. Is that giving it enough time to dry brush potentially? We'll have to see. Hot take, but our favorites to oh my god, fuck yes. I have to when I go into the office, I go there at like 11:30 in the morning in order to get the fried chicken sushi. It's so good. So good. And it's like is it still 260 a roll? Because I have to admit it's been a little bit since I've been there because we have a fish bowl on the side of our building. So I've not needed to go to Tokui Sushi for a little while. The tamago is 10 on 10. Yeah, they're also the teriyaki beef is really good too. Really, really. All right, let's give this dry brushing a go. Let's just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. So, we are not going to put this in water. We're going to leave it dry, hence the name dry brushing. They are legends. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, they did bump it up to $3, but still, like $3, considering for those of you that are internationals, $3 is really cheap for sushi in Australia. That's like paying a dollar to $1.50 USD for a sushi roll, like a long sushi roll. It's really cheap. Okay, so I'm gonna load my brush. I don't even know if this is the right. Oh, lurky worky. Yes, Flint, you lurk away. I don't even know if this technique is still what you're supposed to do. It's been a very long time since I watched any videos on this. So I've loaded the brush, made sure it's all absorbed, and now essentially I'm going to get rid of majority of that paint. When I first did this the first time, I thought it was such a fucking waste of paint, which it kind of is, but the effect is really cool. Okay, so there we go. Now this hopefully will work. Yes, it does. So see how it's only catching on the top layers of the model there. Don't want to do too much though. Blast from the past. Exactly. I have never heard. Not another. Didn't this song get like a really awful modern version of it recently? Okay. That's looking pretty good. Hang on, if I... Not too bad. Not too bad at all, if I do say so myself. Considering I've been out of practice for a year. Brushes loaded up. Go. A little bit on the ears. That will do. Because we're then going to get a paler color. Probably do the pallid witch flesh again and just highlight some of the edging. Oh, I gotta do the, before I forget, I gotta do the tail too. Almost forgot his little tail. Too much on the tail. Bit. It's too much. Oh, more. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're good. Yeah. All right. So, we now have to dry brush Battle. Hey, water currently looks like strawberry juice. Oh my god, don't say that. It makes me want juice. Actually, I haven't had any water while we've been doing this, so I better drink something.
Bitch, hydrate.
Bitch, hydrate. Thank you very much, Sentry. And I better stretch too, actually. Oh, I've been sitting here for far too long. Oh, it's been fun though. I tell you what, it helps with consolidating your time because you're like, oh, I don't have time for that hobby because I stream. Just do the hobby on stream. I forgot it called you a bitch. Yep, yep. It does. It calls me a bitch. Okay. Oh, oh, stretch. Oh. Okay. So that's at least the pink over the red is done. I'll probably go in and do a little bit of dark red over it just because I think because it's still, the red was slightly damp, it's come off a little too. But that's okay. What we're going to do is we're now going to use the Charla Lilac and we're going to go over with dry brushing the saddle with the lilac. Now, the reason is because the contrast between the two might look really cool. It might look like shit. It might look really cool. We'll just have to see. Oh, for those not in the know, this is Nyanas singing this. Nyanas, the VTuber, the one from well, X V Shoujo. Lord Aethelston, her boyfriend, wrote this song. It's a really good dark wave song. He's very good at dark wave, I've noticed. He's a good writer. Go. Okay, let's see how this works. Let's see if it works okay. Oh, that works real nice. You can't see it yet. I'll lift it up to the camera. Because it genuine very good. This is the best idea I've ever had. Oh, something interesting happened a couple of days ago. I was going through my Google Drive and I found a document called Hurricane Paisley Story Notes. So, years and years and years ago, I was going to write a novel. And I never got around to it. And by years and years ago, I mean like maybe 15 years ago. I still had the document in my Google Drive. I have a friend who's an author, a published author. And I sent it to him yesterday, and I've gone, I just found this in my Google Drive. Should I do it? Should I do it? Do it. And he was just like, "Oh my god, you've got to write it. Get it out of your system. You've had it for so long." And it's essentially all of the notes for every chapter of this story I wanted to write. So I'm thinking maybe in a few weeks or something, we do the normal stream on a Friday as per normal, but I might do a little impromptu co-working and studying stream. And we can just vibe out while I write. Okay, that was a brilliant combination. So I'm going to show you if it will focus. Can you see the dusty lilac that I've just dry brushed onto that saddle there? That actually looks really good. But it looks so shit on camera. But yeah, so that's what we've done so far. I'll do a little bit of dry brushing on the antlers. Then we can do his eye, and we'll do the inside of the ears. I'm still not sure what we'll do for those. and he will essentially be done. So give me 2 seconds. I've turned into Sean Connery. Give me 2 seconds, please. I've got other paints that are just, I've got like my desk is an L shape, and along the top is my computer, where I like my standing desk and stuff. So this desk is a standing desk, but I've got like my standing desk and stuff, and then I've got a little L here, and that's like my hobby painting section. So give me a second. I've got other paints over there, and I will just quickly grab them while we listen to the chick who was in Orange is the New Black. I went over there, and as soon as I stood up, I couldn't remember which freaking colors I wanted to grab. So I do have white, but the problem is that it's the airbrush white for some reason, because they were out of white scar, and this is years ago. They were out of white scar, just the normal one, and so the guy upsold me the freaking airbrush one, saying, "Oh yeah, it's the same paint," which it is technically, but it's so much thinner that you can do fuck all with it. It's terrible unless you've got an airbrush, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some of the pink. Actually, I'm going to mix some of the red and the white together. Reason being, it'll give us a softer pink that's based on that red rather than like a artificial pink. And we will do the inside of his ears. The Reckoning. Yeah, this is actually the chick. If anyone's seen Orange is the New Black, this is Pensatucky singing. You know the little Doggett, I think her name is? Doggett Pensatucky? I can't freaking remember her name. It's been a really long time since I only ever watched like the first couple of seasons of Orange is the New Black. But anyway, this is her. This was before she became an actress. She was a singer for Boomcat. Did I get? Okay. A shot was there, yeah. Okay. So I'm putting a tiny bit of red. Washing my brush. And all right. I'm gonna grab a crap ton of this white. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the red in with the white. And it should create a nice natural pink. Yeah, there we go. That's the kind of pink I was vibing for. Oh, hey, Dan Avidan. Okay. Just close all of these properly so that I don't have a repeat of what happened last year. Get these ears painted. Nice and basic painting these ears. And that's all. We did all of that work just for that. But they do genuinely, it looks a lot nicer with the pink in there rather than having it like pallid witch flesh. I might also, this is the cool thing about painting, you can just kind of wing it and hope. And if it doesn't go right, it's fine. You can strip it off and paint it again. what I might do, I might give him a little chocolate nose so that it matches like his hooves and the antlers and stuff. So, little chocolate nose. Cute. I don't know if you can. Yeah, there you go. You can see it that way. Very cute. Never betrayed. All right, now we do a little bit of dry brushing on his antlers and his eyes. So what I will do, grab a tiny bit of this white. Just whoop. Okay, I will break the I'll break the container. Okay, I was not expecting that. All right. I'm going to do a little dot in his eye. So we've got one eye. Sorry, you can't see that. This is one thing I have to do close up, unfortunately. The other eye. Yep, they're about even. They're about even. So he's got little dots, little white dots for eyes. Once they've dried, what we're going to do is we're going to use this one. So this is a Vallejo mecha paint, and what it is it's a magenta fluorescent. So that way he's got like fluoro pink eyes. Alternatively, we can use the War Paints one, which is Power Node Glow. So that's it's more like as you can see, more of a neon pink that you put over white. So we've essentially got two choices. We can go metallic, or we can go like a neon pink. Finally wiped the blood out of his eyes. Yep. Finally wiped the blood out of his. I'm nice like that. We also have normal magenta, like a metallic-y normal magenta too. But I reckon one of these two would probably be best. But I don't know which one. So chat, I'm happy for you to have a say as to which one. Whoops, we do. Go home, stag. You're drunk. All right. I need my dry brush back again. And it's pretty much dry now. Like dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some grey. What did I do for this one? Hang on, let me have a look. Yeah, I think I did like the grey blue. So we'll do the same thing, which is this one, Althuan Grey. I think I like metallic, but I can't know if it's. Do you know what we can do? We can test it out. We can test it out, Sentry, before we decide. I'll put the colours on our little piece of paper towel here. But we will quickly dry brush this first. We can sort of decide on the others. Okay, so I'm going to grab a bunch of this paint. Too much because we're only doing the hooves and we're only doing the antlers. And then we're going to get rid of a lot of that paint. No. We're going to dry brush just the tips. Just the tip. And on the front here. So he shows up the little, like a little spiral. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's like a little spiral detail. So we're just making sure that that's seen. Turn it around and do it on the other side too. That should pretty much do it, I think. No? He looks, honestly, in real life, like, he looks okay on camera, but IRL, he looks pretty badass so far. He's badass. Okay. Go. I'm kind of glad that I did this idea. Oh, should I do the... I should probably do the hooves too, actually. Fucking stupid, 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 stupid bint. Okay. I think I can just pick up, because my brush is now wet, I can just pick up some of the paint that's already on this. Should be enough for the hooves. Trust your eyes more than mine. Ah. Now, for people that have done Warhammer or do Warhammer and all of these miniature painting stuff themselves, you'll probably be like, why didn't you put shader in the crack? So it's a very, very, very liquidy paint that you put in to create shadow, and it sort of stays in the crevices and goes over the bumps of the model. I didn't do that because I find it makes everything just a little bit too dark for my tastes personally. So I tend to leave, instead what I do is when I prime it and I spray it with the white paint, I make sure that I don't like full on get in there with the spray and do all of the cracks. So that way a little bit of the gray of the model still shows through. So that way you can still see the muscles and stuff like that. Like you can still see shadow without having to put shader through it. I know it's gritty and it looks cool, but it's just not my vibe. So right, the only last thing we've got to do is the eye. And then we're essentially done. I don't know what to do with the bases at the moment. I'm leaving the bases. Leaving the bases for now. But I mean, if we enjoyed this, we can do more. We can do more little painting streams, make it like a more... This was just a bit of fun for Valentine's Day because I thought it's cute. So. I'm gonna skip this song. I'm not in the mood to hear Felicia Day sing about Tank and Spanks. Okay, we're gonna listen to the Japanese fucking Frozen soundtrack. All right. Now you said Sentry Metallic, so let's go with the fluoro metallic. We're gonna actually put it on this first, aren't we? Just to test out the colors. So that. All right, so that is magenta fluorescent. Then we've got plain old. Huh? It's power node. And then we've got power node glow. So we've got these three colors. I'm thinking the left one, the top left, is probably the best one. So this one here. I probably wouldn't do power node glow. I think that's probably a bit too intense for the way we're going. But one of these two top ones are probably the best. I'm thinking the pink more than the purpley color. So let's go with that. You know what? We can paint over it if we don't like it. So it was magenta fluorescent. Okay, so we're going to put some of that, just a tiny drop, because we only need the tiniest bit in. And I'm going to get my small brush here. And we are going to grab some of that paint. I say I like the top left now. So this one here, that's the one we're going to do. Bottom one's more red, right one's more blue spectrum. Yeah, that's true. Now I don't know. You like top left. Yeah, it's going to be one of these two. Definitely not this one. We're going to cross that one out. We're not doing that one. But there's this one or this one. I think top left is probably going to be brighter. Because it's his eye, we want it to stand out just a little. So we will do the fluorescent. Single dot. Okay. If I bring this up. Whoop, whoop. I've got to try and there we go. So you can see the pink is standing out there. It looks better in real life, I promise you. Promise you. So I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, he's gone from looking like all ooh-woo Valentines to looking like the most amazingly demonic beast you'll ever see. He looks possessed. It's great. And we've finished our first model, guys. Our first model. It only took us almost 3 goddamn hours. At least we kind of know how long this is going to take, though. Or next time. Because I reckon we do this next time. We do another one of these at some point. I'm going to take him out of my little holder. That way, I'm going to bring this down a bit so that you guys can see. So this is our little man. Robert. Bertie. Bertie Beetle. Ah. This is what we did today. I think he looks kind of cool. I mean, I don't know what I was smoking the day that I did this blue one, but I clearly was on something really good because he looks really good. I just don't know. I don't know what I did. But yeah, I think having the white body does do a world of. Oh, I see what I did that I didn't do with this one. I left his face white, whereas I didn't leave the face white for this one. Maybe we do that next time. I don't know. I reckon we leave the face white next time. I don't know why I didn't notice that as I was painting him. Actually, no harm in doing it. I'll grab a dry brush, one that has a bajillion times. You know, this can be our experiment one anyway. Yeah, that's gonna look way. And it's an easy fix as well. Ah, that's so much better already. I've only done a little bit. bit of the red peeking through isn't going to matter too much because his mane is red. Okay. Redo his eye. Okay, that is so much better. If I put my hand there, you can see the color contrast a little more. That looks that's far better. Far better than what we were doing. So we'll just repaint his chocolate brown nose and his little eyes and we're done. We're actually like done, I promise. We'll just let him dry off for a second. I'll make sure these lids are on the paint pots properly. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. I don't think I even opened this. I actually have a couple of colors that are really, really different. I had a Harlequin that I was going to paint in vaporwave colors. So I had this pale yellow for vaporwave colors. I don't know where my set went because I had like a I had the Harlequin and then I got I think they're supposed to be bits of scenery for like D&D and I think it might be for Warhammer as well, but essentially what it is it's Greek pillars. And what I was going to do is paint it all white and have the Harlequin as sort of like the typical vaporwave, like pastel pink, pastel blue, pastel yellow, and pastel orange. And I was going to do it all in the vaporwave colors. I still want to do that at some point. But I need to figure out where on earth that set piece went. I did have it. Oh, DJ. Okay. It was Catacan flesh, wasn't it? All right. Should be good to paint over little schnozzle. No. Okay. Seem to enjoy this whole vaporwave deal, colors and all. Yeah. Look, I was really massively into it. It was the music that I was writing, so I kind of got really into it. I think the only thing that I didn't get into was like the use of drugs, the use of psychedelics, and weed, because vaporwave is very much associated with 420 Blaze It. I loved it. I loved it. It's just that the problem with that community is that it doesn't move on. It doesn't move on. It was a troll genre of music in the first place, and it was supposed to be something that was a critique of capitalism. and then it got really consumer. It got like super consumer, and it dropped off. It was not popular anymore. But the problem is a lot of people in that community think it's going to have its revival, you know, which, I mean, everything comes and goes in cycles. But they take the I don't how what's the best way to describe it? They take they make it their life. They make it their life. So their whole life revolves around the scene. But the scene is dying. I, I don't know how to describe it. I'm struggling for words. And like I've still got friends that are in that community, and I myself I like the aesthetics of it. I don't listen to the music as often as I used to. But the thing is, I moved on with my music. I moved on. I tried different genres. They're very stuck in their ways. That's the problem with this vaporwave community, is that they're very stuck. They stay there. And I moved on. Well, if anything, I moved back to Vocaloid because I was doing Vocaloid like a decade ago. I moved away from it all, and I'm kicking goals. I'm kicking goals now. To the point where I signed an NDA this morning for a project that I can't talk about. And they're still stuck a decade ago. It sucks when a fan base pulls down some interests. Yeah, it's also very gatekeepy now too. I'm not into it as much as I was. Love the aesthetics though. I like more Outrun aesthetics than I do Vaporwave. I was smashing Undertale for different reasons, but only talk about, yeah, you do not want to talk about Undertale on the internet, that's for sure. Holy shit. They are a rabid fan base. Oh, it looks like ads are starting in 5 minutes. Let's see how fucking fast I can do this so I can end stream and you guys don't have to sit through another wad of ads. There we go. There we go. He's done. He's officially done now, guys. Actually done. I'm not fibbing. I'm not fibbing this time. Whoop, I lost my tracking because I went behind my camera. Let me just turn music off. There we go. Hey, we did it. We actually got there. We finished one. He's probably not as well done as the blue one. Like I said, I don't know what I was on that day that I did that blue one. But he still looks pretty good. And if you guys enjoyed this, we can always do another one. Yippee! Yes, hooray! We finished him. You guys are probably like, bitch, the time. So we've got 3. Oh fuck! I've got 3 minutes. All right. So let's quickly go to just chatting. I don't know what just happened to background on this program. There we go. We're fine. Hi. Hello. Nah, brain's like, there's more there. Keep going. Yeah. The more you look, the more you're like, oh, just fix that little bit. Next mini, let's go. Honestly, I probably should eat dinner in the next 5 minutes. Usually we have dinner at 6, but on Fridays I don't bother. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to snooze. It's going to snooze the ad break. There we go. Ads are snoozed. So that way I can say goodbye to you properly. Next week, I can't do Guild Wars again right now, guys. I'm too burnt out from it. Just keep streaming until you have to get ready for work. Well, I finished work, so I'm kind of done. My weekend's started now. Let me just push this camera out the way so my tracking doesn't get lost again. Now next week, what did we want to play? Star Sand Island came out yesterday. So we'll do our 2 games, or did you want us to do some Vocaloid stuff like we do Lag Train and then we do maybe some chill game stuff? I know, for the whole weekend. Yeah, I know, Sentry, but you've kind of got that sorted though. Like you only work what, 3 days? Is it you or is it Sanguina that only works like 3 days, but you do like a massive cramming 5 days into 3 days? I can't remember. But it's one of the 2 of you. I feel like between the 3 of us, we're like a little trio at this point. And yeah, look, I got more hours and that is me. Oh, it's Sanguinan. I couldn't remember which one of you it was. I knew one of you had ridiculous hours. Yeah, 38 hours in 3 days, you fucking weirdo. No, it's cool. Oh, my my chat is moved. Everything moved when I swapped my computers over, so I still got shit that I've got to set up. Facts. I kid. You know I love you. Platonically, please, no parasocialism. I refuse to let things get parasocial in this fucking stream. But yeah, look, maybe we do. Did you guys want to do like Lag Train? We can do a Vocaloid cover. We can do Lag Train, and then we can do like a cozy game. Like we still haven't frigging. We're only 4 hours into Fantasy Life I. But maybe we do that. I don't do long distance anyway. Great. That's great. I'm so happy. But yeah, so maybe we do that. Otherwise, we can do 2 games. Like we can do Fantasy Life I and something else. We've got Star Sand Island. Probably not Heartopia. Advertisements are not going to start. Go away. Go away. We don't want you. So yeah. So I don't know. It's up to you guys. I don't mind either way. I'm here for your entertainment. So it's always fun for me. Maybe we do, because I don't think I've done a Vocaloid stream since November. I think November was the last one I did. So maybe we do some Vocaloid. We'll do Lag Train. And we will do... And then maybe if we run out of shit to do with Lag Train, we'll go to Fantasy Life. You'll watch whatever. Sentry, you are so easy to please. You are so easy to please. You've been cracking me up on and off tonight. Yeah, I know, hasn't Sentry? Sentry's been great. But look, I won't beat about the bush. I'm going to I don't think I'm going to raid tonight. I don't know who I would raid if I'm raiding tonight. Let me have a quick look. We might raid. Don't run away. Don't run away. Let's have a look. Who's online at the moment? Go eat, bitch. Yeah. I will go eat. Go have something to eat. Take your serious one. Wonderful meat. Yes, you too, Kitty. And thank you so much for coming along. It's kind of been... It was nice to be raided by someone who was also doing... I think you came from Raspberry Stream, didn't you? It was nice being raided by someone who was also doing miniature painting. That was really cool. I won't raid tonight, guys. I know I usually try to, but tonight I'm not going to. I'm a little bit fatigued, and I would very much like to go eat some food. I haven't eaten since, what, 11:30 this morning, and it's now 6 o'clock. So have a totally electric rest of your day, guys. I will see you next Friday at 3 p.m. However, I might do a little cheeky co-working and studying stream if I decide that I want to start writing that book. So there might be a surprise stream at some point. But I'm not going to guarantee it. I don't want to do that. Get a reasonable amount of... Yes, I know I need a moderately okay amount of sleep tonight. But thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the raids. I really do appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to someone who is as small as me. So I will see you guys on the flip side. Take care of yourself. Have a totally electric day. Love you all. Bye.